It's just we are 40% completed. Approx 50 hours will be there, don't worry. So Chitti Babu, like, are you going through the past videos or not?
Yeah, just a few videos I watched.
And how about Vipra? Any difficulty you facing?
No, not yet.
Everything is understood, huh? Clearly
Yes.
understood?
Yes.
Great.
More practice is required.
Actually, practice will help you in cracking interviews easily, right?
Yes, yes.
You can see the code, you can understand the code, that is okay. But like in interview, it will be a blank page and they will ask you to write the program. So you have to get the practice, like
Yes,
how to
yes.
design a class, right? Public static void means. So those kind of practice means I will ask you to write in front of me, right? Without
Yes,
saying
yes.
anything. So if
Yes,
you will
yes.
like lagging kind of thing, I will easily caught you. Oh, it's not, practice has not been done properly. So that should not be the case. So you should be like practice one program daily. What I can suggest. So you can see here our Eclipse is open now. I'll go to the src folder and I have arrays demo. So we have just seen couple of examples over here, arrays part. This example we have already seen, and this also I guess we have seen. So two examples we have already seen. Now you are familiar with the dot length variable, which is present in every array. Whenever you will design array, it will by default come with every array. So that is one thing. So this is about array implementation of a string. So you have seen about array implementation of integers, array implementation of like creation and initialization later, that also we have seen. So this is something, a string array, and what I'm doing here, I'm creating a string array and like I'm creating and initializing. So in the case of a string, you have to put the double quotes. As you know, the string it is. So for a string, you can put the double quotes, and we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. So this is one word of like creating what you call a string array. Second is that consider that you have some quotes written sentence. The quick quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So consider that this is one string. I put in the double quotes and you just put one dot split method. So this is a split method. You put it here, and on the basis of a space, I want to separate it. So the split method also helps in creating a string array. Suppose that you have a sentence and you want to create the array with the sentence. So you can use dot split like this and then put the space. So it will ask you on what basis you want to separate it. So I told that on the basis of a space I want to separate. So this will also create one array. So let me give the assignment of like local variable. Say that sentence and the type of variable, as you know in Java, it's mandatory. So create local variable reference, it is coming as string array. You can see here, this way we have created two arrays. This is also one way of creation and this is also one way of creating. Which one is more comfortable, you can go with that case. So you put a double quotes of sentence and put a split method and with what basis you want to split. So it will, both are same, there is nothing difference. This is also string array, this is also string array. Okay, and which array you want to print, it's up to you. So I have the array, so array I will put it here. As I told you, advanced for loop, now you know, right? And this is called for each loop, or you can say advanced for loop. Both name is the same. So I'm putting here array name. I put here Then type of the array, so type of array is a string, and this is something local variable, means it will keep on pointing each of the elements of the array. So it will iterate through. First time it will take computer, then mouse, then keyboard, like this it will iterate. And when I am printing here, you can see this is the output what I am getting here. Let me comment out. Run as Java application. You can see here it is printing as expected: computer, mouse, keyboard, mobile, speaker. So what I have given, that is printed. And suppose that you want to print the second one, so what you can do, you can create another loop and you put like this, and instead of STAR just put like this, sorry, here, and you put a separator. You can see here this is separated, same like that. So I just want to confirm whether both are the same or not. So this is also same. Now you are printing here. Now this is a standard way using for loop, advanced for loop. If you want a normal way of printing, so you can do that. And how to do that? By index base. As you know, like we have normal for loop which works on the index basis. So what do you have to do? You have to take the array name, and the I is for index. So I am taking I as for index is 0, because you know for array, if you are working on array, the index position will always start from the 0. So I am taking like index position from 0. Then I'm condition I'm putting I is less than str dot length, not less than equal to. Don't do that, because you know array, the size or the length of the array and the index is always less 1. Okay, so that's why we are putting less than only, not less than equal to. You don't put equal to. If you put equal to, it will try to access the index, which is not possible. Then the condition will be false and you will get some exception. Just for very careful, this condition should be less than in the case of array. And I plus plus, so every time I am indexing, like index is increased, so that is okay. Now I'm just printing here strr of I. So this is something index based printing. So let's test this, if it is working or not. You can see here this also working. So there are multiple ways. You have to know which way you are more comfortable. And this is string array. So let me print in the reverse order. So for reverse order, there is a trick. Always remember, the index should be pointed to the last position. So how to point to the last position? That's the main trick. Suppose that it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The length is 5, but the index is 0 to 4. So I want to set the index as 4. So how to do that? So this is the index position. I is equal to the length minus 1. So length will give 5. 5 minus 1, 4. So the value of I will be now 4. And since I want to print in the reverse order, so this is some condition is changed. In the previous for loop, you see here I was putting less than, but here I am putting greater than equal to 0. So this is the condition, means I want I should initialize from 4 and slowly it will go up to 0. So that's why I am putting equal to, because index you already know it's a 0. Just a sec, I'm coming. So I'm back here. So just for things here, you have to very careful that what should be the condition, what should be the initial value and what should be the increment or decrement. So for reverse order printing, your value will be decrement because your index position is starting from 4 and you want to go to until 0. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, like this way it will keep on going. So you have to decrement it, and once you decrement it, then you have to just do the printing work. So printing work is simple. You can use it, the array name and the index position, and then you just run this program and see the output, if it is in the reverse order or not. So I have found it in the reverse order, you can see here. So speaker, mobile, keyboard, mouse and computer, you can see here. This is out of box for now, means it is something different program, so leave it. I'm talking about array. Now let's see the character array example, right? If it is a character array, then how you will do that? So now I'm going here. I will design one character array. So let me delete the things which is not needed. Okay. And this is as of now string. So I have to design character array. So you know how to design character array. That ch char and the array name of that, like I'm putting ch, should be okay. And then in the curly bracket like this, and the characters like single quotes. Okay, say that I'm putting one character and in the single quote, say that I'm putting here C, then comma, then I'm putting in the single quotes, I'm putting W, then comma, then I'm putting P, then comma, then I'm putting T, then putting comma, then in some capital letters also I will Q, and say that 1, everything is coming as a character. So last position, after that I don't need it. So this is one way, and if you want to print, you already have this loop, just copy this loop and bring it here and then try to run it. Index base also you can try, and just normal advanced for loop also you can use. You see here I have copied it, but it is getting some compilation error because the array name is changed here. So array name is ch and data type also changed, so this is char. So these are the basic changes I have to make, and this, like I can take, say that P, I have taken P, any character, any or like PPP, any word you can take, it's up to you. So same thing you have to use in the printing as well. So what it will do, PPP, it will first point to C, then W, then P, then like this. And if you run this, so this is for character array printing. You can see here. If you want to print in a single line, you can put print method instead of println, and here you can put plus first, and then in the double quote put a space or comma, it's up to you, and then run it. Okay, you can see here output, then you can compare whether it is coming or not. And if you have to print on the basis of index for loop, so you have the index for loop, you take it, copy it from somewhere, and the modification what you need you can modify. This is not needed up to here. I will uncomment, and the array name is what? ch. Fine. Array name is ch. See here, this is already completed my index based for loop. This was, what do you call it, advanced for loop. So let me comment this part, and I want to see via this way. Print method I will use, plus, and then space I will use, and I will see whether what is the output coming via this. So this is also giving me same output, and if I put a separator here, S out, why I'm putting /n now, because if I don't put, it will be in the same line. Remove it like this. If I want to print like this, then I have to put here /n in for new line, because this is print method, so that's why I am putting a new line. Just do anything from the new line. You check whether there is any difference in the output. It's the same, right? But this for loop is advantage that you can use for reverse order printing. So if we have to print in the reverse order, you just copy and paste and change the conditions and other thing. So let me copy it, and the first condition will be changed here. So the array name dot length variable -1, and I should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, and instead of I plus plus, it should be I minus minus. This is backward printing, and rest of the condition will be same, so you can go and check whether it is working or not. So it is in the reverse order. So this is something, one way, means you have to create a character array and then you have to go for printing. So I will take one string and I will convert into character array. That is also possible. Let me show you that part. Consider that this is the string I'm taking. I'm coming here. So no need of this as of now. So there is a method called toChar array. You just write like this and just put a dot and then toChar array. So this will convert the string into character array. So once you have the character array, so you can just go for some new variables, say that. So this is something. So this is something name I am giving, and it's similar like that. You can see here what I was doing. I was creating the array and then initializing it. This is something, a string to character array. So first I retain the string instead of writing like this, very difficult to write. So what I did, I just created like this, and then it will convert to the character array, and once character array will be converted, then just my job is to do the printing of this character array. So which way you want to print, it's up to you. Let me go this way. I will take this way, index base. So my array name is c_char array. Just little change I have to do, rest of the things will be same. I have already copied and pasted and just modified the array name, and everything is okay. Now it's ready for printing, and since it will be so fast that I cannot differentiate how the character will be printed, so what I will do, I will use a thread.select to demo. For demo purpose only. Actually, this code is not allowed in the programs. Don't put interrupt kind of thing. So I will just put. So once you put this code, it will ask you to add throws declaration. So now we have added throws declaration, which is kind of interrupt exception. And once I run this, you see the output. Let me comment this part because this is not needed now. Can see here, because of this, it is printing 1 second, then it is taking 1 second to print. So I was just telling you how to convert the string to the character array, and if you have like patience, you can write like this as well. So because like it is such complex way of writing, right? So many things you have to do, and there is a easy way, you can go with that way. Means you just convert it, use this method, and it will be converted to the character array, to char array. String to string array via split method, string to character array via to char array. Just remember this. Okay, now everything will be easy. So now you have already there, but if you want, you can minimize this time. Instead of 1000, you can put 100 seconds, and then you can run, and then you see it, the output will be a bit faster. Like this, you can play around. It's up to you. So this was just demo of array of integer, string, and character. It's up to you. The basic is that array has a fixed size, and then you cannot what you call increase or decrease the size of array once it is created. So that's the mandatory rule about array. So now we have seen all the examples over here. Now we have some what you call multi-dimensional array, two-dimensional array. Consider that we have a Excel. Papu, Deepa, Bipra. See, normally one-dimensional array is a row of cells like this. So suppose that we have a array of size 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So like this, it will acquire a continuous memory location in the same row. But if you have a two-dimensional array, it means it has a row and some columns as well. So consider that you have an array of 3 by 2 by 3. Consider that. So this is 2 by 3 array. If it is a 3 by 3, then it is like that. If it is a 4 by 3, like this, then 4 by 4 like this. So what it will do, it will have the row, this is row and this is columns. So it will basically create a table. So that is called two-dimensional array. So in the single dimensional array, you were only having row. So it was just based on one index and it was doing that. But since you have a table, so now you will have two index. So two index, it means suppose that, let me first select it, mark it. Okay, consider that it is a table of, I put some value, then you will understand, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6. Basically array of integer means the properties of array. If you have integer value, then everywhere it will be integer only. say that 33, anything you have taken, like just think of that, and you have to array particular value. Consider that this is the value. So you have to pass two index. One is like a row index and it is column index. So row wise it is always start from 0, 1, 2 like this, and column wise it will also have 0, 1, 2 like this. Okay, now let me drag it so that you will understand in a better way. This is row and this is column. So column is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me fill it, then you will understand. 55, then it is 66, then it is 87, then it is 64, then it is 22, then it is 33, 54, it is 5, it is 61, this is 32, this is 23, this is 31, this is 45, and this is like 57, 76. So maybe it can be duplicate, it's okay. So this is just integer array, just try to understand. Consider that you have to access this value. Okay, this one. So how you will access? So you have to pass two indexes. One is for row and then second is for column. So row wise it is the index number 2 and the column wise also it is index number 2. So index of two things, row and column, you have to pass. Consider that you have to access number 22. So index of row will be 3 and the column index will be 0. So 3 and 0 you have to pass like that. Okay. This is a static table and some table are dynamic. Dynamic means it will be like this, I'll tell you. So consider that this is only having this much. This is don't have this two columns in the third one. Suppose that this is only having, so like this, means it is of up to it here it is 0, 1, 2, but here it is up to 0, 1. Okay. So column things are keep on dynamic things. So column can be dynamic and rows can be static. So like that your table can be created and based on that you can use. So static table and dynamic table, there are two kind of table and based on that you can plan your array and then you can start printing like that. How to access? So access by indexing this, but I will show you in the loop. So that is the main interesting part. So without loop it is very easy to tell which row and which column, but if you have to design loop then there is a complexity coming and how you will handle that also I will show you. So just think of you have a two-dimensional array, it means it's a table and table can be static and dynamic. So when we talk about dynamic means your column size can vary. Row size is fixed but the column sizes vary. Because column row size is static, why? Because row is fixed. Without row you cannot have column, right? So that's why row is mandatory, column is dynamic. You can put dynamic values in the column. So let me go there in your Eclipse. I have one example here how to design a table. It can be like array name you can put any, I just put a table. It's not like that you have to design a table. You can put any array name. It's a two-dimensional array. So two-dimensional array, it means it will have multiple rows and multiple columns. So in each row you can have multiple values. So you see here, it's just not the way of writing, it's just for your understanding I have put it like that. So how you will design is simple. First start curly bracket, then close with the curly bracket and then semicolon. So this is the symbol of array, it means you have to put it a mandatory way. Then second part comes in design, that how many rows you want. If you have gone through the previous example, you will only having single row. You see here. So this is combination of rows actually. Yes, you can have multiple rows. And I have design is for integer. You can see here integer one. So this is having 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 rows are there. Okay, and each row we have different columns. So in first row we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. Second row we have 3 columns. Third row we have 4 columns. In fourth row we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. So like this we have there. And if, let me comment without for loop, and I'm asking you that if I have to print 89, the what should I do? That's what index I will pass. Suppose that I want to print 89.
3 of 3. 3 of 3.
You first see here how to design it. So array name is this one. You put it like this. Then you design 2 boxes like this. So one box is for row and one box is for column. So I have to print 89. So 89 is here also, and this is something 859. Consider that. Okay. So I'm just differentiating the value. This is 4. Nothing should be repeated so that no confusion. Now we have to print what? 89. So you tell what row and what column I have to pass.
3 and 4.
How 3?
Second row. 0, 1, 2. Row will be 2 and 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 will be the column.
So if I'm putting like this and I'm trying to print, let's see what value it is printing. So it is printing 89. Consider that I have to print 859.
Then it should be 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 and then 5.
5.
3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Run as. So I'm getting the correct value, right? It means I have the basic understanding of that how the row and columns and how the table has been designed.
And always in box, row number should be first and then column number.
Correct. So that is understood. First is row and then column. So on the basis of row only, columns are dependent. So row is first. And this is just a way of writing. Means if someone is asking, can we write in a single line? So it's allowed. It means like no problem. You can write it like that. It's just a way of writing so that. But for better understanding, I have divided into multiple lines. Okay, so that you will understand how you're going to design. If I will write like this, you will confuse, right? So what is the row and what is the column? So that's why I have broken into multiple lines. So this is something like symbol of array. So you can just ignore. That is outer array box. It means it is just starting, and each box we have multiple rows and multiple columns. So it's a complete dynamic example. Dynamic example, it means everything is dynamic. I don't what you call design static. I'm just going for the dynamic. So two-dimensional array, integer array it is. So let me comment this part because this is not needed. It's just for basic understanding that you can understand this, how to access the value. So this is something example 2 of 2. I am printing, I am changing the value. So 0, 1, 2. You see here. So this is second what you call row number third, but the index is 2. So this is the row and the column value is also 2. So this is 45. I am setting it as a 6666. So what it will do, it will override. This 45 will be gone and this will be printed. So like this you can change the value. So this is just for your understanding, but I'm going to do something else. Before starting the loop, you first understand this concept. This is very important. Let me comment one by one. Let me explain. Consider that this is the row. So by default, it will always point to the row number 0. Okay. So if you would just print the table dot length, so it will print that how many rows we have. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So total is 4 row. Index is 3, but the row count is 4. So if I printing it, I am expecting the output should be 4. You see here how many rows is there, and in a particular row how many columns are there. If you have to print like that, So what we have to do, you just put one box and put the particular what you call row number, that in that row how many columns are there. So this is something, it will just print the total number of rows, that should be okay. But in a particular row, how many columns are there, if you want to print that, so you use this format, table of a particular row, and then print the length. So what it will do, it will just print in particular row how many columns are there. So table of 3, it means it is pointing to the fourth row, right? And then how many columns are there, then it will 1 2 3 4 5 6, it will not go with 0 index, it will print the total size. So column is 6, if the output should be 4 and 6. So it's coming, right? So now there is no confusion because you have understood this part, then you will understand this loop. You see here, I have to print this what array. So how to do that? Let me comment this part because this is just for basic understanding. If you understand this, then only you will understand this line number 21 to line number 29. See what I am doing here, let me first explain, then I will try to understand you. Since you know that first I have to go through one by one each of the row. If there are tables kind of printing, so one is for row and one is for column. So this outer loop, there are two for loop, one is outer for loop, one is inner for loop. So outer for loop is pointing to the each and every row. Okay, so row index will be start from 0, row is less than table dot length. So length you will, or you already know, it will 4, so it will be like 0 to 3, that's okay. And one by one it will, the row index will be keep on increasing. And then it is coming for the columns. If you going to the particular row, so from where you have to access the column, start is 0, from here I will start and till the end. So how to get the end one? So the particular row, whatever the row it is 0 1 2 it is. So the particular row, how many columns are there, that's a dynamic kind of initialization. So that is for totally dynamic things here. Column size should be less than, not equal to, less than, because it's an array. Table of a particular row dot length. You see here, table of a row number 4, index is 3, it means row number 4. So table of a row number particular and then length. So this will be a condition, it will go up to that, and then column plus plus. So one by one it will keep on printing. And at the time of printing, I already told you how to do the printing. Two boxes you create, because one is for row, one is for column, and then you print, then it is just printing, that should be okay. And after inner, what you call inner for loop, I'm just breaking a line. Why? Because I'm just trying to print in the table format. So that's the standard practice, because if you don't use, it will keep on printing in the same line. So people don't like that kind of output. So just I'm running, and I think you will be having again some doubts. You can just clarify if you are stuck in somewhere and not able to understand. That's why I've tried to explain one by one line. Okay, I didn't go for the entire program once, just one by one I'm trying to explain you. Can see here how it is printing, same way what I have given here, same way it is printing. So 10 50 65 32 11 22. So anytime you can go and change the value, it will be dynamic, right? If I run this, it will be automatically change.
So is it a good practice, sir, to always plan ahead and make something like this, because no matter it is static or dynamic table, it will not be affected?
Correct.
This is the best practice?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you understand this, this is the best way to understand the 2D array, how to access, how to design, and how to print it. So this was something example of what you call integer. I have one example of a string as well, which is like two-dimensional array of a string. You can see here how I have designed. This is a static one. Static one, it means row size is fixed and column size is fixed. Then it becomes very easy for you, right? If that is fixed of size, then very easy, very easy. It's just a piece of cake. And you see here how to design it. Means this is outer, just a starting of array and closing of array, and put with the semicolon. And how many rows you have? 1 row, 2 row, and 3 row. 3 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So I am not knowing how many rows and how many columns could be there, right? So that's why I am using this my superhit formula, and it will do everything for me. Outer for loop is for row and inner for loop is for column. So I don't know how many rows are there. So I just use starting value 0. Row is table dot length. So table name is their table here. I am taking table. You can take any name, it's up to you. And this is for row, so it will take the row here, and then inner loop is for columns. So in every row we have 4 columns, so it will go up to that, but I am putting the same formula over here. But in that case I can skip that part. Instead of that I can use a particular column as well, should be okay. And here I am just using row and column. Just print it, so it will print. And once my one row is completed, then just break the line. So this is just a way of like efficient representation of the output. So you can see here I put a value like that so that people will not confuse R1, C1, R2, C2. So all the R1 is there, C1, C2, C3, C4. This is R2. So R2, C1, R2, C2, R2, C3, R2, C4. This is R3, C1, C2, C3, 4 like this. So row 1, column 1. So value is similar like that I have put. Anyone has any doubt?
No, sir.
One question is there regarding array. See here, this is table and this is table 1. Okay, there are 2 arrays, right? And if someone is asking that compare 2 arrays, whether they are equal or not. So you know, like arrays has equals and deep equals method. If you go to the arrays class, somewhere I have shown you, right? Arrays class. This is arrays class. You go there and then go to the show view outline. Let me close this. And we have equals and deep equals kind of thing. Equals and deep equals. You see here, you can pass 2 arrays and it will compare and it will let you know whether the array is equal or not. And equals also we have. So you can try both equals and deep equals. See here, the returns true if two specified arrays are deeply equals to each other. Unlike it's deeply row and column wise, it will just compare and it will let you know. Okay, so this way you can pass, and based on that it will return you. And one is equals method of the arrays class, so you can use that as well. So somewhere we will see some examples how to use that. So this is one way by which you can just compare the arrays. So either equals or deep equals. So try both and check which one is best suitable. So it is saying that false because it's a two-dimensional array. That's why. If it is 1D, it should be true. But if it is a 2D, then you have to use deep equals. See here. So you can use these methods. It is really useful. How we'll compare the two arrays. So this is something equals and deep equals. And if it is a single dimensional array of integer, this one, right? I can take this example. Let me take this example here because that is a single dimensional array. That's why I'm going there. Right? Other things not needed. I just want to give the demo of that one. Equals and dot equals. Let me run this. See here. It is coming as a true. So equals is for like two single dimensional and deep equals is for two dimensional array. If you have something to compare, you can use this way. So this is something about arrays, 2D array, and we have multi-dimensional array as well. So I will show you that part as well. That is called multi-dimensional. So I have taken the example of 3-dimensional, but that is really not useful. Use-wise, I have not ever used, but concept-wise, it's okay to have that concept, right? So let me go there. 3-dimensional array. So what I am doing here, 3-dimensional array, how you will create? First, you see a design part. It will be having 3 blocks. One is for indexing, one is for row, and one is for column. So if it is table, more tables, so what it will do, it will say that it is a table of 0, it is a table of 1, it is a table of 2, like that it will consider. So you see here how you will design. So first concept is, let me show you that concept. This you understand, one is outer and this is a closer, okay, that's okay. But if you come here, then it will create like this, like it will just have a box. In that box you can have row and columns. So you see here this curly bracket block is started, and in that we have 2 rows, and in the first row I have what you call three columns, and in the second row I have 5 columns. So like that, and this is something second what you call index number 1. This is just a table of what you call index 0, and this is the table of like index 1. So we have 2 tables, and if we are combining 2 tables, then it becomes 3-dimensional array. Just remember this concept. So when it is like row column, so it's obvious it's a table, right? And it's a combination of more than one table, then it becomes 3-dimensional array. So this will be like index of table, and this will be index of row, and this will be the index of column. So now you have to understand this concept, then you will just focus here, and then you will just print it. So consider that you have to print some value number 55. So how you will do that? What index you will pass?
1.
S out. The array name will be ARR. Just remember this. And you will create 3 boxes. And you have to pass 3 indexes. So one index is for table number, one index is for row number, and one is for column number. And my question is, I have to print 55. Then which index I have to pass? You see here, this is table number 0. Just remember this is table number 0, and inside table number 0, this is row number 0, this is row number 1,
1.
So just try to understand. This is another table. This is another table means table number 1. This is table number 0. This is table number 1. So inside table number 1, if you have to access any value, so you go to the particular row and then column. So same like that, if you have to use table number 0, so in the table number 0, which column and which row value you have to access. Now you tell me, if I have to print 55, then what index I have to pass here?
Table number is 0.
0.
Row number is 1.
Okay.
And column number is 1, 2, 3, 4.
So let's test this, then you will understand whether you are correct or not. If I am running this, it is coming printing a 55. So should be okay, right? So 55 is the correct value. So similarly, you have to print here, say that, just a sec. I am putting one value and you have to tell me which value it is. 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6. Like this value you have to print. Now tell me which index you have to pass. You have to print this value. Then tell me.
Table number 1.
Table number is 1, correct.
Row number is 0.
Row number is 0.
And column number 1.
Column number is 1. So let's test this and you will see the output if it is coming correct or not. It's correct, right? So good job. So now you understand that how to design it. So basically while the designing, what you have to do, one is like normal outer curly bracket and inner curly bracket will be there. That's okay. Inside that, earlier you were designing row and column, but here you have designed tables as well. So just put table number 0, table number 1 like that, and then you design row number and column number. Okay.
Just a query, sir. Suppose if we don't know if we will modify this array later or not. So right now we are initializing it saying that it's 3-dimensional, right?
Yes, yes.
So it cannot be more than 3-dimensional, or it can be?
It can be.
It can be. So in that case,
there is no limit. Yes, you can go up.
Yeah. So,
but I have not.
Is there any? Okay.
Because like 2-dimensional is also okay. Beyond that, no one uses like that. But it's just a concept that you can think of like that. So you can.
All right.
I think 3-dimensional should be okay. I have not seen more than 3-dimensional because how you will design it. Okay. Like that. So you think of design pattern, then you have to use by this easy. So you see here means I am going to add one more table. So how I will do that? So just first put a comma here, right? That's the main rule. Then you go there and just put a table. So and change the value. Say that I am having 44, 34, 84.
Yeah. So 3-dimensional I'm putting, but actually I can insert a lot many tables inside this 3-dimensional itself.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So you see here now, and last table don't put any comma. The comma will be in the first table, then you have second table, then comma, then you have third table, then after that don't need comma, because you think of array single dimensional, last value we were never putting any comma after that, like this. If I am formatting, it will be like this. You see here it change. This is table number first, this is table number second, this is table number third. So in the table number 0, the row is like this. Again I'm undo it, should be okay. So it's okay, you see here, and now you have Suppose you print 748. Now you tell me what will the index is. Can anyone try for printing 748? What should be the indexes?
Which one, sir? Okay,
748.
748. Okay, 0, 1,
Table
2. So it's
Table number is 2, correct?
2.
2. Yeah.
Row number is
2, 2,
2, 2.
2, 1.
Is
And then 748 you said 0, then 3.
4. 4.
4.
748 you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there are
0,
5.
1,
Okay, okay.
2,
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
4. So now see here, I'm just going to run it and you see the output, it's coming or not. So it's coming. So now we have an understanding of indexes. So once we have the understanding of indexes, so it's very easy for you, right? So now you go for the 3D table printing. So you will have to use 3 for loops. Just remember that. If it is a 3-dimensional array, so you have to use 3 for loops. One for loop is for table, one for loop is row, one for loop is for column. Think in that perspective. Now it is clear to you since it is a 3-dimensional array. So I'm taking T is for table, R is for row and C is for column. Hope it is clear to you. And first position, it will give you ARR dot length. It will give you total number of tables, correct? So it will go up to the total how many tables are there. Then rows, how many rows are there. So inside when you will come here, you will write like this. For a particular table, how many rows are there. So this will point to the rows. And for particular table, for particular row, how many columns you are. So it's completely dynamic. Means you don't care how many rows, how many columns. It's all dynamic handling. And for finally printing, you are using same pattern like this. You have to pass 3 index. T is for row table, R is for row, and C is for column. So you see here, I am just going and printing here, and you see how is the output. You can see here. Anyone has any doubt? You see how I have designed and how I have printed. If anytime I am changing any value, I don't bother that I need to change the row size and column size, anything like that. See here, my design is fixed and it will work for any kind of dynamic array. So hope it is clear to you.
One
Yes.
small doubt.
Yes.
So instead of numeric value, can we insert any special characters?
Yes, can. Correct. That is char array.
Okay.
That is a char array. You can design a char array. Here you cannot design because this is totally integer. So all will be integers here. Integer array will only contain integer. Char array will have only character. The string will only have a string. So you have to think while designing, right?
Okay. Okay.
The restriction is about Java. It's like it's about array restriction. You have a fixed size and fixed kind of data type. Later you cannot modify now.
Okay.
So it is clear to you. Let's just have a look over here. And still you have a doubt, you can ask me how it is working. Row, column, row, column, and one is for table. So table, row, column. Clear? Anyone, any doubt? I think there was one more example. It was for what? Goes all. This is just an integer one, right? 3-dimensional integer. How I have designed, you just see here. Have a look. This is table number 0. In the table number 0, I have 2 rows and 3 columns, and this is table number 1. It has 3 rows, and in rows columns are dynamic, so should be okay. So this example, earlier one, I set it via what? Means via indexing, but this is something about other way. One is for what you call table, one is for row, and one is for column. Okay, so think of that perspective and how I have designed it. So this is a way of doing that. So both way you can try. One is like indexing. If you find a complicated, so you can do that. So your array name is test, you see here. So you put here test for the outer one, and you creating a local row one. Okay, so this is the row array. So this you pass here. Okay, and this is for column. You pass here. Understand? And for each of the item, you don't need to pass index. This is advanced for loop, and you try, it will print the same thing like that. That's how you printed in this way, last one. So this is also one way, and it is also, this is table will give you row, and row will give you column. So on the basis of that, you iterating the column value, and then you printing the columns. You see here, one by one. So let's run it and see whether it is working or not. So it is also working. So which one is more easy? You think of that perspective and you try to use. I just put up the way how you can use it. Which one is more easy? Tell me.
First one.
First one. First one is easy to understand because of index base.
Yeah.
And this is something like advanced for loop. Advanced for loop means you just pass first your table name and you create a local variable, that is row. So row is valid in this block. So now you are taking row as an array. It's integer of like single dimensional array. So this way you are using it. Yeah, that's easy. It's up to you how you are handling it. Is okay. It's printing actually. This is also one way of printing. It's okay. Okay, then I think this is for array or arrays example, and I have some lab exercises which I will take tomorrow. Tomorrow we have classes, so we will see how to use the what do you call for loop. That is related to for loop only, right? And while using for loop, you have to learn how to design some patterns. So we have some design patterns like you see here. I will just give you some idea. Running it, and while using for loop, you can design like this. So we will learn these kind of things tomorrow. Just remind me if I am skipping this topic here tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, should be okay. Then we will stop the class for today and we will continue tomorrow. If you have doubts, you can reach me out anytime. Most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Welcome. Good night.